Am I audible? Yeah, perfect. So, hello everyone. Hope you're having a great time here. So, this session is about how are we going to develop your first AI agent and then take it to production. So, let us start with a simple activity. So, if you have heard about AI agents anywhere, maybe in this session or previous, can you just stand up? Whoever heard about what is AI agent? Everyone stand up. I think everyone should have heard about it, right? By now. Yes, so everyone knows what is AI agent or heard about AI agent. So whoever have developed their own AI agent can only stand, others can sit. Have written about an AI agent before? Okay. All right, so we have few folks standing. Now let's say whoever have integrated an MCP or some tool to your agent before can stand, others can sit. Whoever have written an agent along with a memory or MCP or tools or something can stand, others can sit. Okay, great, we have still folks standing. Whoever have actually deployed it to production and have used the agent in your production systems can stand, others can sit. Okay. Now there are only a handful of folks here who have done it to the production, so congrats. But today our motive is something different here. So my motive here is that I'll reveal it very soon. So who am I? I am Vivek Raja, I'm VP of Product at Nextem. I'm AWS Machine Learning Hero, and I'm also a recipient of AWS Hero of the Year Award in APJ in 2024. I'm a reInvent speaker and blah, blah, blah. This is my portfolio. And yeah, I'm also will be speaking along with Bhuvana and INR at reInvent. So please do register for the Dev 326 and you can watch it live stream. If you are in reInvent, please drop in and say hello. And also I'm part of that Road to reInvent, as you might have already listened around. So you might have heard this, you would have seen this quote today in Louis' keynote, right? So it's that it's not about people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel, right? That is going to be one of my thumb rule today. Today, my aim is to make everyone feel that you are an AI developer who can put AI agents into production. So I'm pretty sure that by the end of the session, you'll be able to make it, and that's going to be my objective of today's talk. All right. The aim is that everyone can build and deploy agents with ease. You don't need to have any bigger experience before, and that's a motive. So the Amazon CEO says that generative AI is everywhere, and every single product that is being now developed has an AI aspect to it, especially a generative AI aspect to it. And that is actually revolutionizing the products that we are actually using here. And how many of you have used Amazon Q CLI before? Okay, a couple of those. And maybe a quick question here. So Amazon Q Developer CLI is a huge hit. I've used it as well. But do you know how long did it take AWS to build this Amazon Q CLI? Is it 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 quarters? Any guess? Yeah, okay, I already revealed it. All right, it's 3 weeks, yes. So imagine a CLI tool, which is going to be used by millions of users, hardly took 3 weeks for AWS to build it, and all thanks to the AI developer lifecycle that we have been using and the agents that is working beyond the scale. So now, agentic products earlier used to take months. Now the concept to commercialization have brought on from months to weeks, and we are going to today learn. I'm not just going to say that, hey, you can do this, you can do that. No, we are going to actually develop it all together, because our ultimate aim is that everyone should walk away out of the session feeling that you can actually develop and deploy your AI agents, right? That's the motive. So how many of you have heard about something called Strands Agents SDK? How many of you have used it? Anyone here? I think Bhuvana would have been using it. But has anyone heard about what is Strands Agents SDK? Great. So this session is going to be quite interesting then. So imagine you want to write about AI agent. Okay, so Strands Agents is a Python SDK. All right. and it is completely agnostic to any models that you have. So like for example, if you have Ollama, if you have Anthropic's Claude model, or you have Amazon Titan models, you don't really need to not worry about it. The whole syntax can work with any model provider that you can have. So it's completely model agnostic, and it has lot of features for it. So you can develop a single agent or multi-agent. You can develop an agent with tools. You can develop an agent with MCPs, and which is very convenient. Okay. So let's just see how easy it is actually to build with Strands agent. I'm just going to show you a few code snippets, but after that I'm going to develop along with you how to do that. Okay. So you just have to pip install Strands agents and Strands agents tools, and maybe a quick intro for people who are not aware of what tools are. So I think I can take it while we have it in the code walkthrough. So imagine seeing here is that there is only 3 lines of code. I mean, like there is only like 3 main lines of code here, which is like from Strands import agent, and then we have agent equal to, we are actually initializing the agent class, and we are going to invoke that. That's it. Imagine with that, and all I'm going to say is that I'm going to run a system prompt with it. So a system prompt actually defines the behavior of an agent. All right. So I'm saying here is that you are such and such. Like for example, if you are creating a marketing agent, hey, you are a marketing copywriting agent. Your task is to write about this topic. You have to research about the topic. You have to find 3 points for this topic and then summarize it for me. So the system prompt actually defines the rules and behaviors of an agent system. And that is all it takes for you to actually run an agent. Imagine that we all been thinking that writing an agent code is very difficult, but all it really takes is just 3 lines of code. And that is what actually Strands agents brings to us. Like it is very simple, very model agnostic. You just have to define the behavior, and a lot of things gets taken care of. And you can add custom tools. So I think it's right time for us to discuss what is tools and other stuff. So when you ask an LLM, have you ever tried it actually? So if you go and ask your LLM saying that, hey, what is today's date? Have you got the right answer before? Anyone? And may I know like why that is not answering your, say LLM knows everything, right? But why can't it answer a simple question like, what is today's time, or what is today's date, or what is the current time right now? Any reason? Yep. Exactly. It does not have connected to internet or anything else, or it does not have the knowledge about the current affairs it's been have of. That is reason behind that is the model has been trained long back, and it is just serving the inference whatever it has learned so far. So it does not have the context of what is a date and so on. So to extend the capabilities of an LLM, right? To extend the capabilities of an LLM to do something that is beyond its capabilities is being offered by something called tools. And you can define the characteristics of the tools by simple Python code, which we will see that. All right. So enough of talking about what is agents. I've also bored you enough that, hey, you can build it like very easy and so and so. Let's just actually start building an agent. So I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, okay? 6 to 7-step process, where it's going to be like we are going to build an agent, we are going to define a model, and we are going to actually add a lot of capabilities to an agent, and we're going to actually deploy that, okay? So let me jump to the code. So as you can see, the first thing is that I've written only 3 lines, which is from Strands import agent, and agent I'm going to initialize. And the prompt I'm actually going to give to the agent is that what is AWS. So behind the screens, again, when you're actually using Strands, there is a couple of things that you have to keep in mind. You need to have a AWS account or the model that you have access to, and then so that you can actually give the model access to it. If you're using Amazon Bedrock where the models are available, you have to ensure that there is pricing associated with it. So be very sure of the pricing aspects before you can touch and play with that. If you have a local deployed LLM or you have a free LLM access, feel free to do it. All right, let's just run and see what really happens here. All right, so I'm going to run it over here. So just concentrate on the bottom of the screen, and you can say that when I run it, it gives me a response about what is actually Amazon, what is AWS. So it is saying that AWS is cloud computing platform and it has on-demand cloud services to individuals. So this is given by an LLM. Can anyone sort of make a guess what LLM it's being used by this agent? Sorry? No, it's not Ollama. Okay, it's actually Claude 4.5. The reason behind that is by default Strands always points to Claude 4.5, and since I have a AWS account already associated with it and access to the model, it actually picks it up. But you can serve any model as you like. So we will see how it is very easy for you to actually switch and play with the models here. So today I'm only going to concentrate on building a Bedrock model, like an agent with Bedrock model. So let me take you with that. So I have built a simple agent here. So the agent here is that I have defined a model ID, which is Anthropic 3.7, and all the capabilities of the model which I want to run, like the region, the number of tokens, the temperature, and so on. And I'm going to configure the whole Bedrock model here. So I'm passing the model ID, I'm passing the model region and all the stuff. And here now if you can see, we have extended the capabilities of the agent that we are defining. We are going to give it more access or more granular aspects to it. So what else that you can see here? So the system prompt is, it's not really a system prompt, it is a wrong system prompt. System prompt is like you need to define the characteristics of an agent, but it's still fine, we are just running a simple demo. So it's like, it only answers like what is a AWS, and the model, we have already defined all the capabilities of model, which is our Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Actually this is a Bedrock model, so ensure that the right model ID is passed to it. And then what we are actually adding here is, there is no tools, so there is no extra capabilities to the agent. And I'm giving a name to the agent called test agent v2, and there's a random description to it. So now let's just see how this really behaves. And to make it much more easy for me, I've actually created a simple sort of a CLI command where I could just interact and play with the agent here. So let me navigate to the, so this is a terminal, I'll just clear it for simplicity. So I'm going to 02, which is your Bedrock model, and I'm going to run the main here. So let me clear it for clear. So this is like, it's simple interface where I can chat with the agent here. So I'm going to ask, can you tell me about S3? Okay, the agent is actually using it and it's giving me all the responses. So now we have extend the capabilities of the agent by specifying which model it needs to use. All right, so that's it. So let's again start adding more capabilities to the agent here. So I'm going to skip the third one just for the sake of time being that we have here, but I can just show you how you can actually expand the capabilities of the model here. So it's like I'm adding a guardrail to the model, I'm adding cache, I'm adding tools, I'm adding reasoning budget, and so on, and you can just extend all the capabilities over here. It's simple as that. And if you run this, it just picks up all the capabilities that we have. All right. So with that, I'm just going to go to another one. So as I told you guys, let's again run this simple machine learning model. All right. So I'm going to ask it what is today's time. Sorry, it should be today's date, but yeah, let's see. It's saying that, hey, I don't have real-time information about current time because I don't have access to date and calendars, which means your LLM models do not have external capabilities to access data or internet or something that is way beyond its reach, right? Let's try to solve that problem here. So let me go to this one. So I'm going to all right. I'll just walk you through what is being developed first, then we can talk about how to run that. Okay. So Strands agent SDK, as you might have seen in the first initial way that we installed two Python libraries. One is Strands agent and the other one is Strands agent tools. So what does this Strands agent tools have? So there is over 45 plus, when I saw it recently, that it has all the capabilities that you wanted to actually give it to an agent. Like for example, time, using AWS services, or it could be like Slack, environmental variables, shell command, and lots of stuff. So you can read about what all tools capabilities that it has in the official repo, but just let's start with a simple thing. So I'm just going to have two things here. One is the current time and calculator as one of the tools of my agent, and then let's see how this behaves over here. All right, let me run it. So again, there is the same interface, but it will run with this one. So I'm going to ask what is today's date. So if you can actually see here, it is currently right now using a tool called current time, which we have actually passed it, and it's able to tell me that today is Saturday 2025, which means we have actually extended the capabilities of an LLM with external tools. Let me just play around with even more, because we have another tool called calculator. Give me 2 to the power of 10. So it is trying to use a second tool, and it's saying that is 1024, which means the machine learning, the agent which uses a model behind that, is very intelligent enough to pick which tool serves its purpose. So you don't have to define, hey, I'm going to ask about date, so you have to use this tool. No, your LLM is actually smart enough, your agent is very smart enough to pick which tools he needs to use it for. All right, and it's not always defined that I have to use tools only once. It can use the tool as many times as it wants to get you the right answer here. So now there might be a question, like let's assume that, hey, it's very interesting that now your agent has a lot of capabilities, your agent can actually have tools that you can actually perform, but what if I have a custom use case that I want to give a tool to an LLM? Again, you don't really need to worry. So you can write your custom tools here. Let's see how that works. So I'm going to show you how that works. So I have started writing 3 custom tools. So I wanted to create a receptionist agent. Okay, the functionality of this agent is that it needs to go and create appointments or update appointments or delete an appointment. It's a very simple example, but let's see how that tools work. So I've created 3 functions. So it's like create appointment, and it has like just takes all the information of an appointment and then dumps it to a JSON file. Okay, and then list everything and updates. It actually can update one of the functionalities. But if you really observe how are we going to integrate these custom tools into our Strands agent, is by a very simple thing, is that we have included something called a decorator, a Python decorator at the top called @tool. So this actually helps you to identify this is a custom tool that you want to add it to your LLM. So then what I'm going to do is, let's go to our agent, and then I'm going to say that, hey, there are 3 tools which I want to add, which is your create, list, and update appointment. And you can see that under the tools I have already added them. Now let's see how that really works. So Python main dot. So we have added native tools. So I'm going to ask like, hey, I want to I'll make it quite large. I want to create an appointment. So the agent is thinking, and then, hey, okay, I can create it. So it's asking what type of appointment and what time you want to actually schedule. Oh, okay. So it's like I want to create ACD appointment today. Let's see if it picks up the right tool behind that. Yeah, okay. It's not.
There's nothing called right tool scheduled for the rest of today.
Okay. Let's see how that works. So, oh, sorry, I'm actually still in the native tools. Sorry, I didn't actually switch the directory. So let me go to the custom directories, and then let me run the program here again. All right, now I'm saying that I want to create an appointment. So you can say that if there is no relevant tool, it says that I don't have the relevant tool to do that. So now since we already have done it, say it asks, hey, to properly do this, I need these details from you. So today and current time, and then what is the location? It's in Mumbai. What is the title? It's ACD Mumbai, and then brief description, I'm giving a talk.
Okay, I found this on the web for discussion. I am giving a talk. Check it out.
Okay, and it's able to actually pick up the right tools, which is current time, and then it's using my custom tool, which is create appointment. And actually it has created this appointment and it is available in my, right now it's in file system. You can write it to your database or wherever you want to do that. So with just 10 minutes left, I'm going to skip a couple of things here. So which is adding memory, but I'll just quickly skim you through that. So it's like you can use, there is a tool called mem0 memory, which allows you to actually persist the memory of an agent, and all you have to do is, sorry. All right, so there is something called mem0 memory, and you have to define the, you just go and sign an account, and then you will get an API token and just keep it in your environmental file, and you can actually use the mem0 memory over here. Simple as that. And to add an MCP to this, so we need to, already Strands gives you all the MCP capabilities, so you just need to import MCP client, and then I'm going to use a documentation MCP. There is already a lot of MCPs available from AWS, like AWS architecture diagram, AWS documentation, and lots of other stuff. So let's just pick this MCP and see how that works. So I have already initialized an MCP client, and this is an AWS documentation agent, and it's going to actually ping your MCP, documentation MCP, to get all the relevant details. So let me go to that, and okay, for time being I'm going to skip this. So let me show you a simple use case where I have built a news agent. All right, so this is where it can pick. So as you might have seen that everyone wants to get the latest updates from AWS, but we don't really have time to go and check the what's new AWS blog every single day, right? So we just created a simple agent that's going to always go and read this link using a tool called RSS tool on the top. So this will help you to actually get the RSS feed and run it. So let me quickly run that and see how that comes. We have 08. Yes, let me run that. So I'm asking that give me top 3 latest AWS news. So it is using the RSS tool, as you can see here. It's still the same example that you have seen, but it's just a use case that we have done. And if you go and see, these are the latest news that have come. It has picked it from the AWS news blog. You can go and verify it. If you can see that it has been released this October only, so it should be very latest. Now let's try to actually deploy this agent to the code. So now the whole issue is that now we are able to develop agents as many as we want in the local code. But do you know how long does it take, or how many lines of code does it take to put your agents that you have created here into cloud that you can actually access it into production? Any guess how many lines? What if I say that it takes less than 3 to 4 lines to actually do that? And the best part is that it need not to be an AWS based model to actually deploy it. It can be anything. So you can actually deploy a Strands agent code. You can even deploy your LangChain code or whatever that you want to actually deploy. So how are we going to achieve it? We are going to achieve it with using a functionality called AgentCore. So Amazon Bedrock AgentCore. Amazon Bedrock AgentCore actually got released. Today is October 11. It got released in July mid. So it's been just 2 to 3 months is where this Amazon Bedrock AgentCore has been released. The functionality of that is that you can deploy any agent code to this one. So it has a couple of capabilities such as It has capabilities such as memory, built-in tools, MCP gateways, identities, and runtime. So runtime helps you to actually deploy it. You don't have to manage anything. It's a managed infrastructure for deploying our agents. With just 5 minutes left in the time, let's just quickly go and see how we can deploy that. All right, so let me rename this because I've already deployed it once. So let me just put it as news agent. Yes. All right, so what I've actually added here is that if you can see, we have added Bedrock AgentCore runtime, and then we have added a simple decorator called app.entryPoint, and that is all it takes for you to actually deploy your code into production. So rest of the stuff is taken care by your AgentCore functionalities. You don't have to worry about it, but let's just see how that really works out. So you just need to first configure and then do it. So let me go to the repo, which is your and one more thing, you have to make sure that you have a Docker running in your local so that it picks up those Docker image and pushes it to your ECR. Right, so let's run it. So I'm going to do configure -e, which is your sorry. Oh, sorry, it's not agent, it's AgentCore, sorry. So I'm doing it. I just wanted to give any auto. I'll just show it here. So I don't want to mention, you can just create a new ECR repository. That should be fine with me. And then it picks up the requirements.txt file to create a Docker image. And then I don't want any authorization. And then let me go and launch that. Wait, let me see that. Oh shit. So let me launch the AgentCore, which will actually deploy it. So when you launch it, it goes and pushes your entire agent code into your ECR repository, and then it gives you an endpoint for you to actually go and invoke it. And all it takes for you is that just 2 lines of code in your actual Python repository, like in your actual AgentCore, and all you have to do is that you just have to run these 3 commands for you to actually deploy it to the production. So let's see here, it takes that, it's doing its job, and then let's see how that comes around. So once that is done, let it deploy. We just quickly run through the slides here. So we have a lot of capabilities. We are going to deploy that in the runtime, which is being happened right now. And then there is other capabilities such as memory, built-in tools, and other stuff, which I'm going to just quickly do it. So this is the runtime that we were talking about here. So with that being said, earlier we used to actually interact with HTTP requests. So it's like when this whole web thing got started, we were just directly interacting with static web pages and other stuff. Later we evolved to using APIs and everything, and later now we are able to interact with a lot of other capabilities using MCPs. Now you can actually interact with an agent with another agent. That's where we are actually evolving it all through. And these are the couple of samples that you can go and check it out to deploy your thing. So AgentCore gives you all the deployment capabilities, and there are a couple of samples that is already available. We just today explored runtime, but all it takes, since you already explored what is MCP, memories, and tools and custom tools, all it takes is to just give a push around that. Okay. It still takes a bit of time to deploy, and yeah, it is done. So let me just invoke it. So it is actually invoking this news agent via cloud endpoint, as you can see at the bottom of the screen here. Okay. It got cancelled. As usual, there should be something that messes up with the technical demo, and here it is. So eventually what really happens here is that when you invoke it, it pings your cloud and then it gives you the responses. And today in Bhuvana's session there was a light mishap at the beginning, at the end, but if you want to actually go ahead and read about the blog she has written, this is a QR code. I'm keeping it for you to scan at the moment. Oh, is this hiding? Is this podium hiding? Oh, okay. Just give me a second. All right, don't forget about it. So at least it gives you the QR for you to go and read the blog that you have today, since it got missed at the end of the session. And all this GitHub, the code that we have seen here will be available in my GitHub. You can ping me in LinkedIn, or you can go and visit my github.com. And here I'm Vivek, and machine learning hero and lead of user group Madurai. And today we have actually learned what is an agent. We have learned how to add more capabilities to an agent, and we added native tools, we have added custom tools, we have found what is a memory, and we took a simple use case of news digest to production using AgentCore. So that's it for today.